Hey, it's that time of year. The time for making all kinds of goals with all sorts of best intentions. The time to forget about all the years past where best intentions failed. What? No! Let's take another look at this whole New Year's goal setting thing, because another year of failed goals is not going to move your career forward. That's why in today's video, we're going to talk about why your goal setting fails and what you can do to make this year different. Hi, I'm Fiona, your coach for all things singing, including mindset, marketing, and monetization. If you're a singer or performing artist interested in a profitable, consistent, sustainable career, then take a moment to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. New videos every Wednesday. So, goals. Love them, hate them, we make them all the time, even when we're not doing it consciously. If you're a performing artist, I bet you've made lots of goals over the years, from winning awards to landing roles, from getting callbacks to lucrative contracts. I've always been far more comfortable with the goals I could actually achieve myself. Well, duh, Fiona, that makes sense. If you can't achieve a goal, then you're doomed to failure. And that's the point, my friends. We've got to choose goals that we can actually accomplish, that we have control over. Goals like practicing more, improving our high notes, and learning new repertoire are pretty easy. Yes, we have to carve out the time and have some discipline to achieve them, but that's about it. Whether or not we achieve these goals is entirely up to us. It becomes a lot more challenging when our goals are dependent on other variables and other people. You have complete control over whether or not you practice more. You have far less control over whether or not you're cast in a particular role with a particular company. We also get into trouble when we throw out generic general goals like making more money, gaining more followers, joining unions, and singing on Broadway. If, and this is a big if, we don't have a plan for how we're going to achieve these things. It's one thing to write down the goal, I'm going to sing at the Met or open for Billie Eilish. Those are really more like affirmations. But if you don't have an actual plan for how you're going to achieve these goals, they're not likely to happen. Man, Fiona, that's a buzzkill. Can't I just dream? And my answer is no, you can't just dream. Yes, you can dream. But no, you can't just dream. Your dreams have got to be backed up with a plan and ideally reverse engineered as well. So here are 5 tips for achieving those big goals that you put on your list every single year. I've got several of my own. Some I eventually achieved and some are still on my list. I do have a commercial agent, but I still want a theatrical agent. I did join SAG, but I've yet to join Equity. I want to sing on Broadway, but I did tour Alaska. I've yet to launch my 6-figure course, but I do have a thriving one-to-one coaching business. What are your goals for 2020 and beyond? Let me know in the comments. Now, before we get into the practical tips, we've got to take a look at your mindset and ask yourself the tough questions. 1, do you really want to achieve the goal and everything that comes with it? Sometimes we think we want something, but underneath the surface, the truth is that we don't. When this happens, our subconscious or unconscious mind will work against us. Let's say you have the goal of getting into a prestigious law school, but you're not studying for the LSAT. In fact, every day you say to yourself, today's the day I'm really going to study and do my practice test. Then at night you yell at yourself for your lack of discipline. But a lack of discipline wasn't actually the problem. You have plenty of discipline when it comes to your art. In fact, you spent the whole day painting. The truth is, you don't want to go to law school, but you can't admit it to yourself because then you disappoint your parents. Bottom line, make sure you actually want to achieve the goal, especially the big ones. Now, once you're clear you really do want to achieve the goal, but you still can't seem to hit the target, check in to see if imposter syndrome and perfectionism are causing you to self-sabotage. Yes, this is crazy. Why in the world would we sabotage our own goals? All I can tell you is we do. It's a defense mechanism that keeps us safe by keeping us small. How do I know this? Because I've done it to myself for years. So many of the same goals I list year after year I haven't achieved because I didn't think I was good enough to put myself out there. Don't make the same mistake. Start now. When you experience doubt about your ability to actualize your goals, don't give in to the negative self-talk. Take messy action instead. Okay, let's get super practical. Messy action is better than no action. Even inspired action can often look messy because it doesn't line up with our perfectionistic planning. The kind of planning that keeps us stuck because we never think we're ready. But Fiona, isn't planning necessary? Yes, planning is good so long as it keeps you moving forward. What's not good is waiting to take action until your efforts are perfect. Why? Because perfect action doesn't exist. Instead, take messy, inspired action. One of my goals is to grow organically on Instagram, so definitely follow me there. And I know showing up on stories will help me reach that goal. Messy, inspired action means capturing and sharing right away the insight I just had in a client session. It doesn't mean sitting on that insight, polishing it, wrapping it in a bow, and then not posting it a week later when it no longer feels insightful. Maybe it was insightful, maybe it wasn't. In either case, follow your inspiration and post it in the moment. Have you heard of the phrase SMART goals? First introduced in November 1981 in Spokane, Washington by George Duran. I could do a whole video just on this one type of goal. And if you're interested, just search the term because many people have already done that video. Nonetheless, it's worth repeating and applying to yourself. SMART, in this case, is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. We already talked about achievable. For example, my goal to become the first woman professional Major League Baseball player sadly wasn't achievable or realistic. SMART goals also tend to work best when you're the only one responsible for fulfilling them. Here's an example of a SMART goal. One of my goals for the beginning of 2020 is to publish one YouTube video a week for the next 4 months. It's specific, one video a week for YouTube. It's measurable, same thing, one video a week, in this case for 4 months. It's achievable, as I've already been producing 2 videos a week for 5 months, so I'm confident I'll be able to produce another 16. Similarly, it's realistic, as this is actually an easier goal than my last one. And it's time-based, weekly videos for 4 months. Have you checked to make sure your goals are SMART goals? Let me know in the comments. Lastly, break your big goals into micro goals and reverse engineer them by working backwards. This is where planning is actually essential. For your really big goals, like singing on Broadway or winning an Oscar, that are dependent on a lot of other people, circumstances, and variables, you've got to design a long-term strategy full of SMART-type goals that will get you not only from point A to point B, but to C, D, and eventually all the way to Z. For this to work, you need to meet goal after goal over many months and often years, depending on where you are in your career. And during these years, you've got to feel successful, because otherwise the reality of not making the big goal over and over again will become too painful and you'll quit. So think of your big goal and then work backwards. Maybe your big goal is 3 years away. Where would you need to be in 2 years? In 1 year, in 6 months, in 3 months. Now you can accomplish the smaller goals knowing you're well on your way to achieving the big goal. This will help you practically to achieve your goals, and just as importantly, it'll help you feel successful so you'll stay motivated and be less likely to quit. Now go ahead and start planning your 2020 while simultaneously taking messy action inspired by your intuition. And definitely let me know in the comments what other strategies you've found for accomplishing your goals, big and small. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and like it, share it, subscribe to my channel, and definitely let me know in the comments below what other topics you'd like me to cover to help you with your singing career. And since you watched to the end of this video, you may also want to watch these other videos on my channel. Now, go out into the world and let your light shine. You deserve to be heard, and the world deserves to hear you.